Section 1. The Rise, Reign, and Departure of the Last Orthodox King, the Hidden Anointed One, and the Final Reign of Light. In the twilight of human history, amid rising apostasy, war, and moral chaos, the Lord preserves for himself a hidden seed, an Orthodox king, appointed not by lineage or election, but by divine will. This mysterious figure, spoken of by Saint Andrew the Fool for Christ in the 9th century and confirmed in visions by Saint John of Kronstadt, Elder Seraphim of Vyritsa, Elder Joseph the Hesychast, and many others, is the Sleeping King, also known as the Hidden King, the last Roman Emperor, the Orthodox Tsar, or the Righteous Monarch. His existence is a sign of divine providence still at work in a disintegrating world. He does not arise in ordinary times. The beginning of his mission is preceded by the most ferocious global war ever recorded, a war centered mystically on Constantinople, the Queen of Cities and spiritual epicenter of the Orthodox world. 700 million soldiers are seen in vision by holy elders, a number symbolizing global involvement rather than statistical exactitude. This war, fought with tanks, jets, and nuclear fire, escalates to the brink of total annihilation. But just as humanity prepares to devour itself entirely, the heavens respond. An angel descends, visible to all, and utters a single word: begin. What follows is 3 days of supernatural confusion and mass slaughter. Armies turn on one another. Former allies become rabid foes. The ground is saturated with blood, and cities are silenced by divine wrath. Then, as suddenly as it began, the angel returns on the 3rd day and speaks again. Stop. The violence ceases. Dread fills the silence. That night, the heavens unveil a fiery red cross, glowing above the earth with a star beneath it. A beam of divine light issues forth from the star and guides the eyes of the faithful to a concealed tomb. There, hidden from all for centuries, lies the incorrupt body of the last Orthodox king. This monarch does not awaken by science, nor is he resuscitated by men. He is raised by the very breath of God. His resurrection mirrors the raising of Lazarus, astonishing, divine, unmistakable. Saints across centuries saw this moment. Elder Ignatius of Harbin foresaw his spiritual clarity amidst global chaos. Elder Nikolai Guryanov envisioned a chosen youth burning with Orthodox fire, and Elder Savas Achilleos described him as a spirit-filled shepherd who would rise with quiet authority. The king's very presence pierces hearts. His eyes burn with divine grace. His words awaken repentance, and his humility radiates beyond the realm of kingship. With his emergence, wars cease, and peace descends across the nations. He does not seize authority. It is granted to him from above. He does not rule with tyranny, but with holiness. Orthodox bishops and elders recognize him through divine revelation and signs. He is accepted not only by Orthodox faithful, but even by those of other nations and religions, moved by the inexplicable grace that flows from him. Thus begins a brief but luminous period, 12 years of healing and order, the last divine reprieve before the great deception. This is the final flowering of Orthodox civilization on earth. Swords are beaten into plowshares, and the machinery of war is dismantled. Factories once used to build weapons are converted into tools of mercy and agriculture. Taxes are abolished. Economies founded on greed collapse. The poor are uplifted. Churches, monasteries, and sacred places are restored. Pilgrims journey to holy sites reborn in glory. Orthodox communities arise in places where Christ's name had long been silenced. The Church, battered for centuries by heresy and persecution, now shines with its original apostolic fire. Elder Elpidios of Cyprus, echoing Saint Andrew, prophesied that in this time, children will see visions, and miracles will multiply as they did in the days of the apostles. Even the animals and the earth itself will respond. Fields yield abundantly, nature rejoices, and the ecological wounds of centuries begin to heal. Language becomes once more a means of blessing as the Tower of Babel is spiritually reversed. Humanity finally breathes the peace of Eden, but not all receive the king. Hardened nations remain. Regions prophesied to include parts of Egypt, Arabia, and militant lands of Islam. The king, led by the Spirit, marches into these territories, not with military force, but with the divine fire of chastisement and mercy. Signs and wonders accompany his mission. Some lands experience plagues like those of Egypt, while others see healing. Many Muslims convert, weeping and rejoicing, in what saints have called a second Pentecost. The gospel spreads by awe, not argument. Yet after 32 or 35 years, as some seers foretell, the king vanishes. Some say he dies, others that he is taken again into concealment. His departure is sudden and unexplained, but universally understood to mean the end of divine protection. It is the sunset before the rise of night. St. Andrew's original words portray this departure as catastrophic. The last shield is removed, and a terrifying spiritual vacuum is created. Elder Joseph the Hesychast saw this as the beginning of the world's final temptation. Elder Savas Akaleos described the people of that time as slipping into moral laziness, forgetting the blessings they had received. Once more, evil awakens and seeks dominion. And yet the memory of this king will not vanish. He will become the final standard of righteousness burned into the heart of the faithful. His brief reign will be remembered like a lost paradise, a final glimpse of Christ's coming kingdom, offered to the world as its last chance before the great darkness. His life becomes the measuring rod against which the Antichrist will be exposed. His purity, humility, and the miraculous restoration of the Orthodox Church during his reign will serve as a final testimony to the holiness God desires of his people. Thus, as the Lord said, "When the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth?" Through this king's reign, the heavens respond, yes, faith will burn, if only for a fleeting moment, before the beast comes to extinguish all light.